trust us, guys. The big marketing push is right around the corner. This game is about to be huge. That's what gaming studios always tell their players, especially for multiplayer games. But of course, asking gamers to trust large game studios is like asking a fly to trust a fly swatter. We know that these big studios tend to look at us as nothing more than wallets with human bodies attached, and their goal is to drain all the money from the wallet and then move on to the next person until we refill our wallets and they can drain us again with the next transaction. So, why am I even talking about this? Because I got a fantastic question from someone in my stream chat. Shout outs to the user named Crypto Grit, who asked, why hasn't Parallel Studios onboarded more people into the TCG yet? Parallel trading card game got maybe 3,000 to 5,000 active monthly players on the ladder. I'm guessing, that's a guess. I don't have the data in front of me, but just based on the ranks on the ladder and what I've seen. And so the question is, okay, it's been a few years, we've been working pretty hard. Why isn't it even bigger? Why isn't it growing faster? And we had a really good conversation about this on stream. And so I think I'm going to cut to that in a second. But to give you guys the quick summary, the answer is that's not right. The answer is that Parallel Studios hasn't really tried to onboard casual players yet because it's been too early. The game hasn't been ready. And once the game is ready, they do have enough money, enough funding, and the team and the people needed to probably do this right. There's a lot of reasons to believe in Parallel, but it's completely understandable that gamers have trust issues because most gaming studios just fuck us in the ass every time. And they tell us, I promise, this time I won't fuck you in the ass, I promise. And then they're balls deep again. It's just really frustrating, you know? And so I just realized my camera's a little low, but whatever. Let's go to the stream clip and we'll talk more about this. I had a really good talk on this, so here it is. So my answer to the question of why isn't Parallel growing faster, long story short, the simple answer is the company just hasn't tried to onboard casual players yet, and it's not really been the right time. Like, it's basically too early to bring in casual players, but it's also a thing where gamers understandably have trust issues because every studio says that they're going to start doing marketing soon and then the player base is going to grow. Like, for a single player game, it doesn't really matter. If you like the game, you're good, right? You buy the game, you tell the devs you love it, you tweet at them or something, and then you go about your life. But for a multiplayer game, you really need the player base to get big enough so that when you queue into the ranked queue, you actually have an opponent and that they're around the same rank as you and it's fun and you have different matchups and all these things, right? Most games, they don't like bring in the players until the game is almost done and there's kind of that lag time, right? And so every game in early access that has a small group of people playing it, and maybe they're selling some stuff to those people, cosmetics, or in the on-chain world, the crypto stuff, which can get really sketchy sometimes. With all of that, you have a lot of game studios who are promising, don't worry guys, the game's going to have the updates that are going to make it really work soon, and then once that update hits, then we're going to have the big marketing push, and it's all going to come together. And the problem is most of these companies don't do it. Most of these companies are talking bullshit. Like, some of them are well-intentioned and they fall short. A lot of them on the more corporate side are actively lying or being misleading or kind of just like, hey guys, we're cooking super hard, but they're just not, you know? And it's not easy, but like at the end of the day, gamers have trust issues because of that. And so the bottom line, yeah, Veen gave me a script. And so what I see with Parallel that makes it different, is that I've played a lot of fucking card games, a lot of us have, and I think Parallel's card game, the mechanics and the foundations of how the game was built, both mechanically and in terms of the storytelling and the characters and the art, I think on both sides, it's a like 10 out of 10 S tier foundation for a card game. And there's so many card games, it's so easy to make a card game that it's easy to kind of get nihilistic and think they're all the same. It's just whoever has, Marvel Snap only wins because it's got Marvel. And there's some truth to Marvel Snap. Marvel helps. But like a good card game, a truly good card game is still actually rare and it does stand out. And Parallel is that. The other thing is that the company, there's like three things. So one thing is Parallel card game, extremely good. Second thing, or there's like 4 or 5 things. Second thing, the community is very, very strong. And I know every game says this, but Parallel's the strongest community I've seen. It's just different, and you can't really, if you're there, like the Parallel community, it's really incredible what's happening in terms of the kinds of people who are playing. It's really, I don't know how to put it into words. I'll start rambling too much, but it's an amazing community. The studio is very well funded. They public info on what they've raised for fundraising rounds, like from venture capital, which is a double-edged sword for investors, I understand. But in terms of like having money to use to pay for this thing to get built, Parallel has raised over $100 million, over $100 million, and a lot of these companies, whether they're like indie studios who are making some kind of heartfelt game without a lot of money, or whether it's like a crypto game that's kind of, some of them have been scamming people and they only have like $100,000 budget and they spent it all on an airdrop marketing campaign and like some some crappy like Fiverr game. I don't know. Like Parallel is built different in terms of actually having the resources, and that's like a huge deal. And then the fourth and final thing is that Parallel, we're starting to see the improvements that need to happen. Like, I remember when I first started streaming, there was some big visibility improvements, and it made me way more interested in streaming the game. But then after a while, I will admit that I was seeing, okay, the game feels kind of slow, it feels kind of clunky, the matchups are kind of wacky, and there's all these issues that really do mean it's not ready for casual players yet. I'm seeing what's happening now is that the game is starting to take the right steps to actually be good for casual players. Like with Gods Unchained, for you guys who played that, we were always waiting for this fabled like code rewrite, game engine rewrite, which would then enable the team to move faster. And as far as I know, they just never actually did that, and it's been years and it hasn't happened. Parallel is making those same kinds of claims, but we're actually seeing them do it, right? And the thing is, like, there's that 6-month, 12-month kind of delay where the team is rewriting the engine and building the mobile client and building out, in Parallel's case, Colony and Wayfinder. And, like, there is this delay, right? But, like, we're starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And so we all have trust issues because we've all gotten hit by games like Gods Unchained or, I don't know, like, the best examples, like, you waited for Half-Life 3 and it never came out. I don't know. I don't know what the example is. I'm kind of blanking. But, like, we've all had games let us down, or we've all just gotten really excited about a game hoping it would get popular and then it didn't, right? Like, back when I played Temtem, there was a lot of copium that Temtem was going to become this huge, sustainable, competitive PvP scene, and it never happened, right? With Parallel, it just feels like we are seeing the changes actually happen. There's a point where you've waited too long and you're not willing to wait anymore. And Parallel, sometimes it feels like they get close to making us wait a little longer than we want to, but they do deliver in the end. Star Citizen, I don't know too much about Star Citizen, but that one was, it's still not playable, right? It's just Parallel has been delivering the goods lately. And I really think this patch, like, I want to play the card game more. Like, I'm literally grinding my ranks back up after doing all these meme deck challenges, and I didn't want to do this before because I was kind of tired of how slow the game felt. Now this patch makes me excited to queue back up. In fact, I kind of want to end this rant now and get back into the game. So bottom line, why hasn't Parallel grown faster yet? The game hasn't been ready, and it's understandable for people to be skeptical of that because every game studio says the big thing is coming soon. And so when you hear Parallel say, slowly then all at once, we're going to build this world-class competitive scene and make the game great for casuals, and here's how we're going to do it. It's like, well, okay, but I've heard these promises before. But Parallel, they have the funding, they have the community, they have the team, they have the experience. And it's one of those games, this is what it means to get fully pilled on Parallel. The more you look into it, the more you learn about it, generally, the more excited you get. Whereas a lot of games, it's kind of like the opposite. So anyway, my camera is getting blurry. I'm losing the light. I bought some new lights. This is going to get fixed hopefully tomorrow. But I want to get back to grinding. That's it. Shoutouts to Crypto Grit for the great question. And if you're watching on YouTube, jump in to stream sometimes. Links in the description. You know what I mean? All right. See y'all soon. Bye, bye, bye.